Hey, let's jump into some People Tools development here and take the next step on our trace tool. What I'd like to do is have the tool list all of the trace files that are out there on the server, with the idea that eventually we'll be able to click one and show the contents and be able to go through the trace. So let's jump back in. I have taken too long to get this done, and I have forgotten what all I've gotten done and where everything is. So let me just refresh my memory. I've got my two buttons on my page. So if I click this one, it turns the people code trace on and off. And if I click this one, it turns the SQL trace on and off. So we've got that so far. We need a list box down here at the bottom to be able to list all of the files. So here's my project right here. Sometimes it helps me just to pull up the page, and this is the page that we've got, and you can see my two buttons here. And then I also would like to have my app package up here, so I'm going to pull him out so I can see my app package. And I have one class for the user interface here, and maybe what we'll start here is let's do a build file list method here. It's not going to return anything. And then down here at the bottom we'll say build method build file list method. Alright, so first things first, let's just start real simple, and let's say let's create a variable for where that'll be our directory where the trace files go. And let's just start by, we should be able to use the psconfig home variable to get where the files are located. So let's start there, and then we can just do our handy dandy normal debugging utility here. And let's see here, cfg home is equal to ampersand trace directory. Alright, so there we go. And then before it will actually work, I really need to, let's just call it, so this build file list. There we go. Plain and simple, easy. If I refresh my page, it should hopefully happen, and there it is. Okay, so this is the People Tools home here, and if I actually change to that directory, I can see that I need to go to appserv. Now this is my challenge, is figuring out how to, you know what I might do? I'm just curious. So from here, we should have, it's in our app DOM, and then it's in the logs directory. So that's where all of our trace files are, in that directory right here. So if we come back over to here, I think what I would like to give it a try and see if we can do, let's say local array of string. We'll call this our file list. And then I would like to say file list is equal to, so you know what, this should really probably be the PS home. Let's just do it that way. Alright, so our file list, let's say file list is equal to our PS home directory plus, you know, I forgot what did it end with the trailing slash? It did not. There's no trailing slash in the end. Okay, so we need to add our slash here, and then we need to say star/logs. But if I do that, let's see here. So if I look back at my thing, I think if I do prcs/logs, I'm gonna get logs there too. I'm not. Okay, so that works. All right, so star/logs/star. Yeah, let's just do /star. And I'm forgetting something really important. What I really want here is I want to use this find files. Yep. And so that's my directory, or the wildcard search or whatever. And we're going to do %filepath absolute, because the whole thing matches there. All right. So did that. Yeah, so let's do, first of all, let's just do let's see how many files we actually get. So file list.length should give us the length. We'll just move a little bit of, it would help if I put the find files. There we go. So one step at a time. Let's give this a test. We got 0 files. That did not work. Does that make a difference if I put a star on it? Nope. 0 files. Well, I am disappointed. File absolute. Alright, so what if, let's just hardcode stuff in. If we do I still get 0 files. So what I should do is this right here. If I copy this and do ls, that's what I'm missing. I missed the app serve. App serve. And I'm missing my slash. The 557 files. Okay. And if I do this, let's refresh it one more time. 0 files. What happened? So it doesn't like the... I am tempted to just ignore that. App dump. So we've got our list of files. So just out of curiosity, what does the first file in my list look like? Refresh, and that is it right there. It's got the full path. Okay, so that is good. I'm gonna actually change this to a star, and we can refresh this one more time. Oh, and it even has the dot dot. Huh. Okay. So let's just do this, okay? I'm gonna create a new record here because I have to have something to put in the on the page. And let's do but I want to be careful about it. So we can do file path, but file name is 80 characters. That should be fine. I was thinking about like a long character. File path is 127. Okay, we can go with this. All right. Now, I could make it derived, but I'm gonna go with the SQL view. So let's save this. We'll call it skp file list. I'm gonna leave the underscore VW. I don't know. Maybe I will. Tempted to leave it off because I'm not actually gonna store anything in it. But this is purely for the page alone. File path, I think it was, from PS installation. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna hit F7 so I make sure I get it in my project. And then I still have my page open here. So let's go ahead and insert a grid here. So we'll drop this grid in the list, and I'm gonna put my file path into here. So I've got my field, and save it. That's right. Okay, so in here I want to go to use and classic grid. This needs to be flex grid. We can play with some other types eventually, and I do not want to update that grid. We're gonna load it with people code, and we're never gonna save anything out of it. It's purely for display. So let's save that. No errors on the save. All right, and then in here, yep. So we'll go right here. So local row set. So up here, get the, okay, and then down here, list on the page. So I need my grid here. So I'm just gonna start at level 0. And what do we call it? Scroll dot skp file list view. So that gives me my list. And then I need a variable to use in my loop. X. It's always got to be X. For X equals 1 to the number of files that we have. File list dot length. It's an array n4. Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna create a how about we just do a row object? All right. And if x is equal to 1, then I want to just grab the first row. So row equals rs1, because I'm always gonna have one row in it. And you know what I really need to do, just in case, let's do rs.flush, just in case there were rows before we called this method. I always forget to do that. Otherwise this row is gonna be rs.insert row, and I always forget it returns a boolean. So we're gonna insert it at the end. So that's not going to work, but what I need to do is rs is equal to rs, and this is basically the same as get row, and if we do that we'll get the last row. Alright, so what's the problem here? Rs is a row set, I want that to be row, not rs. There we go. And I forgot my end if. Okay, and then I may as well, before I save it, I want the record, which is skp file list view dot file path dot value is going to be the file list dot get x. Alright, so that should throw everything in the list, and I'm just gonna comment this out because I'll probably have to use it later. So what happens if we, hey, but what I forgot to do was, where did that come from? Oh, that's the name. Okay, so we're gonna have to do some styling, but I'm getting my list here. So I've got my list. First problem is the field I forgot to make display only. So just out of curiosity, does that make it look better? Okay, my other issue is I don't want the whole path on here. So that's pretty cool. I got 97 rows, which seems a bit too big. And my other challenge is figuring out if it's a directory. So I did just find there is a record called psxp funklib. So let's see what this record has in it. Alright, if we want the people code here on this record, let's pull him down. I don't want the file extension. So validate ID, I believe. I don't want to delete the local directory. Get file, convert, get file name from path. I think this is the one that I want to do. So maybe if I slide this up here, and then we have to declare our function in this little space right there. So declare function people code, if I'm remembering this right. Yep. And then paste that. I got it wrong. People code, and it's psxp funklib. That's why it's up at the top. Funklib. Yep. Funklib. Funklib field formula. Alright, so that should, there we go. Okay. And if I look at my people code here, it full path returns the string. So let's declare another variable here. I don't know, we'll put it down here. How about this? Okay, so that's still there. So just out of curiosity, what would happen? Hey, look at that. Alright, my last thing is there anything, display server file, what we need is something to determine if it's a directory or not. And I'm not seeing something, so I am going to jump over here and look up. I've got my resources on the internet. I have a link in here called People Books. Ah, that's not the one I wanted though. I want the language reference, and I believe there's a file. Remove directory, file path. There's a no path type is a. Oh, okay. This is my frustration, is I've got to remember all of this. Where is the, is there not a link to the file object? Find files, open, is open. Here we go, file class methods. Is there a file class properties? I was hoping there would be a is directory. Okay, so if we do file exists, file or directory. So that's not gonna do. If it's a directory, it's still gonna return true. I could have sworn there was a way to thought there was like a get file details or something like that. Terminate lines, use space for non-zero extend. So we may end up having to go to Java then. Alright, so let's just go back here. I've got this dot dot. I think I want to sort it as well. I'm also tempted to say if the date is today, then I want it to show up at the top, or also if the username matches. So we'll have to figure that out. So oh, that's gonna make it challenging. Okay, so I want to do if okay, so if goodness, local. You know what? I'm just not gonna worry about it. Let's leave it at. Well, okay. So local string file name. What I'm trying to do is get rid of the dot dot up at the top, and I got to get rid of that temp as well. There's a temp directory that I haven't really seen. So let's say the file name is equal to this. So let's cut this out. Let's drop this here, and we'll drop this here. So let's go like that. One more thing I'd like to do is let's sort it. So sort, and I believe I have to say the name of the record, file list view dot file path, and then we want to sort that ascending. So if I do that, you can do that. There we go. So just before tux, the tux stuff, that is the craziest thing. So it is only showing files, right? I've got the whole thing in here. So TMP, it didn't put the TMP directory in there. Did it put the... But I'm also missing my standard out. Okay, so interesting. If I get rid of this dot star, wonder what happens. Okay, I get those two. And I should have a TMP before. There it is. It's sorted with case. Okay. So for now, I'm going to cheat. I wonder if I'll ever remember to come back through here and fix these. But I just got to get something working. So let's do evaluate file name. And we can say when it's a dot, and when it is a dot dot, and when it is a TMP, then we want to continue and evaluate. I don't know if I need a break or not, because technically it should never get to that, because the continue should jump it. Okay, so if I refresh this, I should theoretically not get my dot dot. Okay, but I still get this blank row. So really what this needs to do, instead of on the first one, it needs to say if rs.activeRowCount is equal to 1 and get rid of that dot. Oh, that IntelliSense is annoying. There we go. Okay, and rs1.skp file list view, if that file path is empty, so we can use the none like that. Alright, so now if I refresh this, number 1 should be, there we go. Alright, and so I'd like to clean this list up just a little bit, but so what happens if we set this to unlimited occurs count? Save this. There we go. I like that. Okay, and I'm gonna do one more thing too here. Let's go in. Where's our record? So if I do view definition and I add a, you know what, I'm gonna save that for another video. I'd like to get it to where it's sorting out my the stuff for today's date. I'd like that to show up at the top, and I might do that with the sequence field. But for now, I'm just trying to take small bite-sized chunks and get them done. So we're gonna go like that for now, and I think that we've accomplished one thing there. So I am happy with that. So stay tuned, subscribe or whatever, so that you can follow me when I eventually come back and we'll get those sorted up. And I would like to set it up to where you click on one and it takes you in to be able to see the actual contents of the file. So that is the plan. I'll catch you guys next time. Psst, see ya.